So one night a week, Jules and I throw axes in the Backyard Axe Throwing League. So we need something that's easy to cook, delicious, easy to eat, and will give us the fuel we need to win. Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are going to do one of those super simple one-pot pasta dishes that will have dinner on the table in no time. So I've got a heavy Dutch oven here. I've put it on to sort of medium-high heat, and I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom, not a whole lot, just to lubricate the ground beef as it begins to cook. So this heats up really quickly. It's induction. So in goes the ground beef, and we're just going to break it up a little bit and let it brown off. Now over here I have like a mirepoix or sofrito, and it's just some celery, bell pepper, carrot, garlic, and onion. And I'm just going to put this into a food processor, and I want to process this down till it's fairly fine. Okay, looks like the beef is browned pretty nicely, so let's get the sofrito into the pan. And we just want to cook the vegetable down until it loses quite a bit of its moisture. So stir it in, pull up some of the fond from the bottom of the pan. Now that doesn't take long at all. So in go some spices. I've got some salt, oregano, and red pepper flakes. I'm just going to stir those in. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper too, just because I like putting it in almost everything. Next is a can of tomatoes, and these are crushed tomatoes. And I'm just going to pop those in now. You could use chopped tomatoes if you want. I think the crushed ones in this dish do better, but you know, it's up to you. If you like something a little bit different, go ahead and use something a little bit different. Next in is some chicken stock. And if you've got fresh beef stock that you've made for yourself, use that. In my own hierarchy of stocks that I like to use, I would use beef stock if I had fresh homemade beef stock. Then I would use chicken stock, or then I would use store-bought chicken stock. I think store-bought beef stock for me is way down the list. There's something about the flavor, I just don't like it. And I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but it always just tastes artificial to me. Next in is some wine, and today I'm going to use red wine. I know in the past I've done a lot of videos where I've used white wine in a sauce where we should have been using red wine, or people think that we should have been using red wine. And I've used the white wine because really what I was looking for was the acidity and the alcohol to bring out all of the other flavors, and I didn't want the white wine to add any flavor. In this instance, I want the alcohol and the acidity from the wine to release flavors, but I'm also looking for the flavor of the red wine at the same time. So I'm using a red. And I know it's a little bit decadent to be putting red wine in something like this, but it really does add a really nice flavor. And just use a red wine that you like to drink. It doesn't have to be anything special, just something that you like to drink. And of course, Marmite. Always a good scoop of Marmite. And if you don't have Marmite, Vegemite. And if you don't have Vegemite, Worcester sauce. And if you don't have Worcester sauce, maybe some tamari would work really well. You're looking for something that will enhance the umami flavors from the tomatoes and the beef. And I find this works really well for me. And then, of course, you could just cut right to the chase and put in a pinch of MSG. That would be fine. Okay, now it's time for the pasta. And today I'm using fusilli. And so I just put the pasta right in the pot, and we're going to cook this sort of over a medium simmer, a really nice simmer, for maybe about 15 minutes. And today I'm using a fusilli, but you could use macaroni if you want, or any pasta shape that you desire. And I'm just going to stir that in, and we're going to cook this until the pasta is cooked al dente. Okay, the pasta has cooked through nicely. The sauce is thick. Just a couple more things I want to add just to kind of bring it up a little bit, and one of them is nutmeg. I really like nutmeg in tomato sauces. So I'm going to grate in, not too much. That should be good. And then I'm going to pour in a little bit of milk. And the milk will just bring something a little special to the sauce. So maybe 3/4 to a cup of milk. And this is full-fat milk, or 3.25% where we live. I'm going to stir this in and just let that milk warm through, and then I think we're done. Hey, Jules.
Hey, smells all tomato-y.
Beefaroni.
Hey, friends. Oh, beefaroni, your favorite.
I know. So scoop some out, and I will get a glass for the wine.
Oh, yes, we're stepping it up, I see.
Yes,
we're stepping it up. We have tumblers today for wine.
It's special beefaroni. So it's all cooked in one pot, which makes
that's
it...
handy.
Yeah. I mean, it's super simple. Easy cleanup.
So does that mean there's some red wine in it, or you just, thought red wine went with it?
There is some red wine in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll bring out some flavors.
Cheese? You want cheese?
Sure. Oh, geez, I might even get myself my own fork.
So just a little bit of cheese on top, whatever kind of cheese you like. Hard cheese, either Pecorino Romano or Grana Padano, or,
Soft cheeses. Or...
mozzarella. If you want to sprinkle mozzarella on top, I think that would work really well. Yeah.
Just like eating, yeah.
So, I know.
Right.
Make
Looks
it your
good.
own. Yeah.
Beefaroni.
Yeah. Tomato, meat sauce.
I can see the joy on your face.
Tomato,
Hey,
meat
beefaroni.
sauce, pasta. I mean,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is that simple meal that just, brings brings comfort, right? That's what comfort food's about.
It brings me joy. Now, you can put mushrooms in here if you wanted to. I didn't put any mushrooms in. There's other stuff that you could put in here to dress it up if you wanted to, but you don't have to. I think on its own, just like this, it works really well.
I think it's also a meal that you could easily convert to a vegetarian meal as well with crumbled tofu, because a lot of the flavors come from the tomatoes and the cheeses and all the other stuff. So it could be really easy to convert.
Yeah. Well, and that's where you could leave the ground beef out and just do mushrooms.
Yeah.
And the mushrooms on their own would add a lot of flavor.
You could do this up a lot of ways.
So we've come to the end of another video where I've shown you a recipe that, just make it the way.
Yeah, do whatever you want,
whatever
my friends.
Change this up to make it work for you.
So
and
if it brings you joy, that's the measure.
And if you're one of those diehard people that needs to cook the pasta separately and then stick it in the sauce, then cook the pasta separately and stick it in the sauce.
We're not judging.
Just know that you don't have to. And you can do it all in one pot. If what you have is a single burner because you are...
Living in a condo that has a single burner?
Yeah, there's some of those in Toronto. They don't even have an oven. They've got a single burner on the countertop. Or you're in a dorm in college.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons why you've only got a single burner.
So...
You're at the stove at the cottage.
Yeah.
There's only one that works. We've all been there, right?
Thanks for stopping by.
Take
See you again
care.
soon.